For the best meat you have ever eaten in your life, go to samsbutchershop.com. Enter the coupon code Triple T when you check out for a 10% discount. This video today may make you squirm a little bit. It may make me squirm a little bit. But there's something I believe, or some things I believe, that simply have to be stated. Because as most of you are aware, our nation is in trouble. And I maintain, as many other writers and prognosticators maintain, that America, of course, is changing and at a rapid pace. And some even speculate that America is headed for an extinction in terms of how it was founded, because we have varied and drifted so far away from our moorings, if you will, and the intentions of our founders and our framers. That America no longer exists as we know. And this is troubling, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I say more of the things that I want to say today, I need to make something abundantly clear as I can. It is true that I am a white Southern man. I don't make any special note of the fact that I am a white man. I don't believe in white pride or white power, nor do I believe in black pride or black power or Black History Month or White History Month. There is no such thing as far as I know. But a person's skin color is just their skin color. It's just how they're born. You didn't accomplish anything by being born black or white or red or yellow or green or whatever color your skin tone happens to be. It doesn't matter, and it shouldn't factor into any equation. I don't look down on anyone based on their skin pigmentation. It does not matter to me, and I make no issue of it. While it is true, I am in the deep South. I am in Alabama. I've never worn a hood. I don't know anybody and have never known anybody that was in the Klan. I don't know where Klan rallies are. I don't know if they exist anymore. If they do, I don't know anything about them, and I don't know anybody that does know anything about them. I find the term racism to be overused and misdefined and personally repugnant. I do not consider myself a racist, which is simply the belief that someone is superior to another based on their skin color. I do not see things that way. I am not better than any other person because of skin tones. I want to make that clear. The traditional America that I believe in is a land of opportunity for anyone of any background that plays by the rules, works hard, is industrious, and goes to make a living and a life for themselves, regardless of their skin color. It doesn't matter to me. There are highly successful people who have black skin, white skin, yellow skin, etc., 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 and that's great. This is, in theory, the land of opportunity, and I am not better than anyone else who has a skin tone different than is mine. I hope that is clear. But the funny thing about it is this. It seems to me the people who are always proclaiming racism around every corner and every bend are not people who share my philosophy of life, if you will. Indeed, it is mostly leftists and liberals of the current type, in our current day definition, and Democrats, quite frankly, who are always invoking racism where there is none, and always making an issue out of a person's skin color. It isn't people like me who believe in traditional American values and believe, as I said, that this is a land of opportunity for everyone, north, south, east, west. We lost the Civil War, but I don't look down on Yankees. I've got some Yankee friends. of both colors, or of many colors, actually. So I want to make that clear that the current day usage of a term such as racism is generally employed by those in the woke crowd and those who are aligned politically in the Democratic Party. Bearing that in mind, I want to reference a couple of paragraphs of a great article that was written by the great Paul Craig Roberts today, and then I want to transition into another theme that I believe is going to be eye-popping and eye-opening and gives the proper context to what is happening in our country today. This has a lot to do with the southern invasion, and for that matter, I guess you could say northern invasion of our country on a daily basis, and why we are losing our country because of it. I haven't bothered to do the math, but I know that I've looked at charts that have shown the number of people that have invaded our country, and this is not sustainable, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot continue going at this rate. The rate of illegal invasion under Joe Biden in the last 3 years has been almost exponential. It is not sustainable. I cited a reference recently that there have been in this time period 6.2 illegal aliens that we know of that have invaded our country. This is more than the population of the state of Missouri and many other states. It's not sustainable. Paul Craig Roberts has offered that what may be happening is a transition whereupon the Democrats toss Joe Biden to the curb. And you may think that's a good thing, and I would say on the face it is a good thing, but he offers the possible transitioning from Biden to an oldie but baddie. That would be Hillary Rodham Clinton, who he believes has a good chance of one way or another wrangling herself back into the equation and becoming the next president. That's not too far-fetched. Obviously, as I've also cited on this program, the Democrats are slowly but surely turning on Joe Biden. They see him as the liability that he is. He would be replaced were he to leave tomorrow by Kamala Harris, and Paul Craig Roberts sees that as an opening for Hillary Clinton, if you can just follow things from that point on. But he writes, everywhere in the white Western world, we see that the white governments discriminate against white citizens in favor of the Ukrainian refugees and third world immigrant invaders. I learned today that the living standard in Ireland of the Ukrainian refugees and immigrant invaders paid for by the Irish people, I've got some Irish viewers, is higher than the average living standard of Irish citizens. Irish farmers are faced with a wipeout of their assets as the government intends to destroy 1 million sheep and 200,000 cows to please the global warming agenda. No lies detected so far. Israel's genocide, and it is a genocide, of the Palestinians is not the only genocide being committed today. The white governments of the Western countries are committing genocide against their own white citizens. The United States, Europe, Canada have open borders not for white people, but for people of color who are outside the Western tradition. Try bringing in a European girlfriend, and you will see that immigration is not for white people. Every Western government is busy at work erasing white civilization. These governments are our deadly enemies, but the indoctrinated populace will never see it. Now you understand why I led the program today the way that I did. Because you see, it isn't white people like me that are raising a ruckus about people's skin colors. However, that is not true of leftist Democrats and the woke crowd. They are making skin color an issue. They have a visceral hatred for traditional American values and a visceral hatred for the white people that uphold them. And folks, this is just a fact. I'm not a racist for saying it. I'm not a racist for saying what is obviously true and right in front of our faces. I'm not trying to start a race war of some kind. I am trying to maintain traditional American non-racist values. The values I uphold, the traditional American values I uphold, are good for people of all skin types and colors. But it's the leftist and the woke crowd who are proclaiming war on white people, and that's just undeniable. It's right under our noses. Do you need further proof of this? Boston, Massachusetts television stations are airing exclusives this Valentine's Day week about area residents taking in illegal aliens, refugees in woke speak, into their homes. Listen to this. With state shelters at capacity and images of migrant families sleeping at Logan International Airport, the Stokes family in Boston said they knew they had the means and wanted to step up. The family is lovely. They are so appreciative. It has been wonderful, said Jessica Stokes. When Colin and Jessica Stokes called the state to sign up to be a host family, it took them less than an hour for the displaced migrants to be dropped off at their door. Quote, I was like, I have to get sheets on the beds. How many people are coming? Where are they from? What ages? We really knew nothing, Jessica Stokes said. The need is so clearly overwhelming, Colin added. Brookline is the home of failed presidential candidate Michael Dukakis. The story flashed back to me, his What Me Worry ride in a tank. Remember that? Quartering illegals in homes, too, is a disaster waiting to happen as liberals spin the dial of strangers in the house and someone gets macheted. But that's the chance you take when you want free labor. A migrant family from Haiti spoke exclusively with NBC 10 Boston about their experience in the Boston area. They recently found a host home in Brookline, Massachusetts, and they've been searching for jobs. It's been an emotional few weeks for Waldande Joseph and her husband. First, they slept on the floor at Boston International Airport, Logan International, and then in Children's Hospital with their 2-year-old daughter who got very sick. However, things are now looking much brighter as they've been welcomed into Lisa Hillenbrand's Brookline apartment. She said her daughter is very happy. Hillenbrand said she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Waldande loves cooking. In fact, her goal is to open a restaurant. Her own personal chef. As a tweet said, and I quote, "Holy shit, they found a way to bring back slavery and make it woke." Are you listening? Of course, for every nice illegal alien who cooks, Democrats let in a gangbanger, a drug dealer, a Chinese spy, and a Muslim terrorist. Nightly, soft focus exclusives on Boston TV stations won't change that. White Democrats have a history of liking food prepared by black cooks who smile and work for free. 2 centuries ago, Democrats took into their plantations refugees from the kingdoms of Ghana and Dahomey, where they had served as slaves. In America, they taught them to farm and grow cotton. They got room and board in exchange for the cotton. Democrats had no problem with that arrangement. Democrats. Then came the Republicans to break up all the fun. After winning a civil war, Republicans passed that darned 13th Amendment, which meant slavery could never return. The House the Illegals movement runs in sharp contrast to past concerns by liberals about using illegals as free domestic help. Folks, are you paying attention to this? Do you see where this illegal immigration is going? Is this a stretch? No. The Guardian reported on March 13th of 2013, quote, last week, a wealthy New York widow, Annie George, went on trial for allegedly keeping an undocumented immigrant as a virtual prisoner in her home for over 5 years. The victim, Valsama Mathai, testified that she was forced to work long hours with no vacation or sick days, had to sleep in a closet, and was not allowed to leave the mansion. George was ultimately found guilty of knowingly keeping the woman in the country illegally and may face up to 5 years in prison for that charge. She was spared from having to pay her the $317,000 that federal prosecutors calculated Mathai was owed based on the minimum wage and overtime hours she worked, but may have to pay a fine of up to $250,000. What the future holds for Mathai is uncertain, unquote. It is odd that the Obama administration actually prosecuted someone for keeping a person in the country illegally while Obama was setting up a program, DACA, to keep illegals in the country. They know this use of illegals is wrong. The Hill ran a piece on August 12th of 2020 that began, quote, let's cut to the chase and call undocumented immigration what it is, modern-day slavery. The flow of undocumented immigrants into the U.S. exists by design. Not because of poor border security. Our laws are designed to lure undocumented workers into the country with the prospect of loosely regulated employment, also known as a job waiting for them once they arrive. These workers are then exploited while the employers are not held accountable for illegally hiring them. Once in the U.S., they are trapped, separated from their families here and abroad, taxed without representation or benefits, have no voice or vote, are criminalized, dehumanized, and exploited for economic and political gain. As if that were not enough, they are villainized and persecuted by law enforcement and civilian militias and incarcerated in for-profit detention facilities. Ask yourself, if this is not systemic oppression that compares to modern-day slavery, then what the hell is it? Well, build a wall and we'll end that. No, the Hill said, some argue that we have an illegal immigration problem that requires building a $20 billion wall to keep our neighbors out. Others call for tougher border security at the cost of $8 billion a year in climbing, most of which is spent on for-profit detention facilities. Facilities where detainees are treated as a commodity at $120 per day to enrich the pockets of a few at the cost of taxpayers and the humanity of those detained. I argue that we do not have an illegal immigration problem. What we have is an illegal employment problem built on the systematic exploitation, marginalization, and oppression of undocumented workers. This is not only unsustainable, but it is wrong, inhumane, and immoral. So keeping people out is inhumane, but enslaving them is not. I guess all the white ladies in rich suburbs need a personal chef who smiles all the time. These words were written and these words were penned by a man by the name of Don Serber, entitled Dodging the 13th Amendment. And you all know what that is, or you should. So this is quite the twist on the problem of illegal immigration, wouldn't you say? Could it be that the real racists in America are the leftists? Could it be that the real racists in America are the woke crowd? Could it be the real racists in America are the people who are fundamentally trying to transform America? And that would be the Democratic Party in America, who has always been, isn't it ironic, pro-slavery while they tell you otherwise. They tell you it's the Republicans who are racist, bigots, homophobe, misogynist, and on and on and on and on it goes. Well, brother, if the shoe fits, lace that son of a bitch up and wear it yourself. It isn't the Republicans who are the racist, by and large. It isn't people like me who are racist, by and large. Who is it that is bringing these illegal aliens into America and ostensibly making slaves of them? It ain't Republicans doing that, folks. Can you understand that the Democrats want Texas? That's why the illegals are flooding over the Texas border, so that they can capture Texas, because politically speaking, electorally speaking, if they get Texas, it's over. If we lose Texas, it's over. You'll never see another Republican president in your lifetime, or in the life of the America we're clinging on to. You want to find a racist, find a Democrat. The odds are much better you just found one. Could it be that the insidious part of illegal immigration is Democrats, these white, elite, New England-style, rich Democrats, like the people I just referenced in Don Ferber's column? Could they be pro-slavery? Is it possible the Democrats are pro-slavery? Is it time maybe we start assigning designations such as racist and bigot and homophobe to Democrats? Well, why not? It's traditionally the Democrats who defended slavery, is it not? Who ended slavery? It was a Republican president. I'm not fond of Lincoln, but he ended slavery. Who is it that tried to block the civil rights movement of 1964? It wasn't Republicans. It was Democrats. It took Republicans to get the thing passed. Johnson's motivations for passing that were so that he could get black people in America on the dole for the Democratic Party. This is evil. It is insidious. They are fundamentally transforming America, and the America that I once knew and you perhaps once knew is surely headed for extinction, and at a rapid pace. Does sharing this information make me a racist? Hell no. It makes me a realist. And you know the funny part of it? It's these rich, blue blood New England liberals who are behind this kind of stuff. White people. White people. Can you imagine bringing a poor illegal immigrant across the border for the purpose of enslaving them, of exploiting them, of bringing them into a situation where there's no way out? They got to do your cooking and your cleaning, and by God, they better smile while they're doing it. This is not our America. This is not our America. This is worthy of some thoughts. This is worthy of some sharing. And if you share it, that doesn't make you a racist. It makes you an American who is concerned that you're losing your country. I'd appreciate hearing your comments down below very much. Leave them there if you would, and like this video. Give it a big thumbs up, please, if you would. Share this video and subscribe to the Triple T channel if you would be so kind. I would appreciate that. Everybody go out and have a thoughtful, hard-working Thursday. This is Trailer Trash Tim, and I'll see you soon.